It is the Riot Podcast, Friday, June 9th edition. Got a weird headline here for you.
Let's hear it.
Bill Murray has a new romantic partner, Kellis, which may not be a name that rings very familiar to a lot of people. Kellis does the song, My Milkshake Brings All the Boys to the Yard.
Everybody knows that one.
Everybody.
I don't care who you are.
Your grandma knows My Milkshake Brings All the Boys to the Yard.
Nobody knows who sang it.
No.
But we all know that song, Bill Murray, Thirsty for Milkshakes.
Apparently.
What a wild duo. Now let's see how old do you think Kellis is?
I'm looking it up right now.
Bill Murray's 72. She is
43.
43.
Yeah.
That's a little bit of an age gap.
We've seen worse, though.
We have seen worse. But that's right there is a wild duo.
It's definitely an unlikely couple. Yeah, you could have given me a million guesses of who Bill Murray is dating and never would have guessed Kellis. You could give me a million guesses to name the person who sang My Milkshake Brings All the Boys to the Yard. I wouldn't have guessed Kellis.
I wouldn't have either. But I'm looking at photos of them.
It
looks wild. They're a wild looking duo.
Yeah.
Bill Murray looks really old.
I guess I just always think this. I think at, I don't know. I think
at a certain age,
it doesn't matter to you. And for Kellis, like her being 43, at a certain point, what's the difference between a 45-year-old and a 75-year-old? It can be marginal at that point.
Now I'm looking through just weird celebrity couples over the years.
Oh yeah.
And there are some really weird ones that I didn't even know were a thing.
All right. Why don't you say one and I'll see if I can get the other one.
All right. I think it's pronounced Macaulay Culkin.
Macaulay Culkin?
Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah.
You know who that is, right?
Yeah, from Home Alone.
Home Alone, yeah.
Who did he date?
This is between 2002 and 2011.
Wow, long
That's
term.
That's a long-term relationship, and you will never guess who this is.
I am going to say...
She is, like, well-known for being a very attractive woman.
Oh, Jennifer Lopez.
That would be wild. Mila Kunis.
Mila Kunis dated Macaulay Culkin, huh? She has interesting taste.
You know that?
Him and Ashton Kutcher.
That should give... I mean, Ashton Kutcher, though.
Yeah, he's good looking.
He's a good-looking guy. Macaulay Culkin, on the other hand... Not that he's ugly.
I'm not sure what Macaulay Culkin looks like at this point. I know, or what he would have looked like in 2002, but
I'm looking at
his
it now.
brother, Kieran Culkin, looks real nice. So
I'm just saying, this is good hope for everybody.
It could happen for you.
Like that you possibly, as an average-looking guy, could possibly pull a beautiful woman.
Okay.
If you get in enough movies.
Got any more for me?
Oh, I'm looking at some other ones here. Madonna and Tupac.
Yeah.
That's a weird-looking couple.
Unique.
To think about. Let's see who else we got here. Courtney Cox. You know who that is?
Yeah, from Friends.
Yeah, from Friends. Michael Keaton.
Oh, he must have been a bit older than her.
He was, yeah.
He's actually getting up there.
They called it quits. They were together for 6 years.
You know, he's Batman in the new Flash movie, right?
Yes, he is.
He's like 70 years old.
Is he 70?
He's 70 years old. He's doing that. He's doing another Beetlejuice.
That's wild.
Yeah. Crazy.
How about this one? Nick Cannon.
Oh, who is he? I mean, he's been with a lot of people.
There's a lot of options. If you guess something, it might be right. Like it might be right. This is one of the biggest names that you could name. Maybe
Mariah Carey.
He was with Mariah Carey.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
But that's not the one that I pulled up here.
That's not even the crazy one.
But that's not the crazy one because they're like a well-known. This is him and Kim K.
No.
They were together.
Wow.
Isn't that wild? This one's a good one. Oh, I love this one.
Okay.
Ready? Sandra Bullock. Well known.
Of course.
She looks very different in this photo.
How old is that?
This is back when they were doing Murder by Numbers together. Dated for about a year. That's how you know it's old. I don't know how old they are in this, but it is a while ago.
Is it George Clooney?
It's Ryan Gosling.
You've done a lot of movies with him. Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling and Sandra Bullock. He said he praised her for being one of his best girlfriends ever.
Wow.
That's pretty high praise.
Good for her, actually.
Oh, it's great for her.
Good for her. Love Ryan Gosling. Canadian.
Is he Canadian?
He's Canadian, yeah. How young? I picture that seems to me that there would be an age difference, but I bet you there's not as much as you would think. I'm looking it up right now. How far in age are they apart?
Oh, those two?
Yeah.
Ryan Gosling and Sandra Bullock?
Oh, actually, no, there is a big age difference.
Who's older? It's Sandra, right?
Yeah.
How much older?
16 years.
Really?
Yeah.
She looks really young in this photo that I'm looking at here of them two together.
Yeah, she looks good.
I mean, she always looks good.
She's now 58.
She always looks so good, though.
She's
Ryan
58.
Gosling
He's 42.
That's crazy.
I would have thought, usually, I think you picture female actors as being, actresses, as some would say, as being actually older than they are when they've been around for a long time.
Yeah.
And then for guys, they just feel like they never age a lot of, especially when you look like Ryan Gosling. But he's 42, which is probably about where I probably would have put him. But I would have put Sandra Bullock being a lot younger.
All right, ready? Maybe two more.
Okay.
First one, Janet Jackson, Matthew McConaughey.
Wow.
That
is unlikely.
They met at the Grammys in 2002, and there were rumors back then they were dating, and neither of them ever confirmed it. However, in a 2006 interview, Janet admitted that they were dating for a while.
I'm doing some more research here because I also... Okay, now here's a surprise. Janet Jackson, younger than Sandra Bullock.
Okay.
And...
Matthew McConaughey?
She's younger than him by 1 year. Okay, she's still the older woman in the scenario, but much different. She's only 4 years older than Matthew McConaughey.
Last one.
I might have thought, in that case, once again, I thought there would have been a bigger difference, actually.
How about this one? Paul Rudd, Jennifer Aniston.
Is that unlikely? Two very attractive individuals. They got to be around the same age. Paul Rudd was on Friends, right? He was on Friends.
It said they two briefly dated while filming The Object of My Affection back in 1998. Remained good friends and even reunited to play a married couple in 2012 movie Wanderlust.
Oh, I love that movie.
But yes,
you should watch that.
I think, it's not a super unlikely one. It's
that's
just
that's the most likely of.
But at the same time,
it's
just like, I don't know, it feels like two weird people.
They're both funny. Again, they had Hollywood connections.
Seems like an odd match.
I feel like they're around the same age. Maybe based off of the other ones, maybe I'm way off on that.
I just can't imagine Paul Rudd dating. To be perfectly frank.
Why do you think he feels like he's
just a goofy
perpetually
guy.
single or perpetually married?
He's a goofy guy.
He feels like a married guy to me.
Yeah, married.
You know what? He's probably way older than Jennifer Aniston.
Ready, Paul Rudd age? He is 54. Jennifer Aniston, would you like to guess?
She's not 50 yet. She's not 50 yet. Don't tell me she's 50.
She's 54.
No way.
They're the same age.
Wow. Well, good for her then.
Good for Jennifer.
Good for her. I feel like I learned a lot here.
There you go. Weird couples.
Yeah.
Weird celebrity couples.
All right. Let's just get on to the podcast.
Good stuff in here.
Enjoy.
We had some grand stuff today.
Yep. Let's just leave it to the imagination.
Whatever you guys want to
Or
be.
you have to listen to find out. And we'll have a good weekend, and we'll catch you next time.
See you guys soon.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The worst of the riot. Radio U.
Imagine this. You're hitting the beach, having a grand old time. You've brought your giant inflatable duck. You named him Quackers. And you and some buddies, you're just having fun. You're just chilling out on the water, out on the ocean with your giant duck Quackers. And suddenly things start to take a turn for the worse. You look back towards land and you're getting further and further away.
You're drifting.
Until finally you're 75 meters from shoreline, and your buddy on a paddleboard isn't able to, or a kayak, I should say, isn't able to redirect the duck back towards land. You don't know where you're headed. And in comes the Coast Guard.
Oh, no.
We have here 3 guys in the UK who had to be rescued by their Coast Guard because they were floating away on a giant inflatable duck.
Says after about 5 minutes, they had drifted out about 75 meters from the beach.
Yep.
In 5 minutes, the Coast Guard was called when Quackers was 200 meters off the shore.
Yeah.
That's pretty far.
600,
That's real far.
600 feet.
That's 2 football fields.
That is 2 football fields. It doesn't sound like much, but it's probably farther than you realize, farther than you'd want to be from shore.
On a duck.
On an inflatable duck with no means of redirecting yourself, evidently, no matter how hard your kayaking friend tries. But still though, embarrassing.
Oh, so embarrassing. And you're on the duck too.
Yeah.
And like you all three of you were on the duck.
Uh-huh.
Nobody wants to be in the water because at that point you're so deep it's scary.
Yeah.
And so you're all on this little duck. I would just feel ridiculous when the Coast Guard's approaching. Like, what is going through your mind at that point? I mean, all manhood has left you then, right?
How could you play it cool at that
There's
point?
no playing it cool.
Because like if you were out in the water that far, everybody would understand if you were panicky or you were like, help
me.
But if you're on a giant inflatable duck, how is your attitude? What kind of attitude are you expected to have there?
Yeah, exactly. Like, you're not freaking out because you're on the duck.
You can't freak out.
But at the same time,
if you're the freaking out on a giant duck guy,
it's a bad look for a long time.
You're going to be made a mockery at that beach.
But at the same time, it would be scary.
Yeah, it would.
Because there's probably like sharks around. Like legitimately, you're that far out. Like you're on this duck and that's all you've got. The simplest of just little pushes from a fish could knock you off.
Yeah.
And then you're in deep, deep water.
Or you get a stiff breeze and all of a sudden, I mean, you're in who knows how deep of water.
One of the boys shifts his weight just a little bit one way or the other. Tips the duck. All three of you start to freak out.
I can't imagine that duck. I mean, it's giant. I have one of those.
Do you?
I do. I can't imagine that more than one person should really be on it, though. Yeah.
Let alone three of the boys.
Yeah.
It's a bad look.
Would you ever consider abandoning duck?
Abandoning the duck?
Yeah, just trying to swim it back to shore?
No
600
way.
feet?
No chance.
I can't think about running 600 feet.
Let
Forget
alone
about
swimming.
In
not a chance.
Treacherous waters.
Clearly, because they were drifting out, that means the current was taking them. So if they were to try to swim in, fighting against that current would not be ideal.
No, you know what you have to do?
What do you have to do?
Swim sideways.
So is that what you're supposed to do?
Swim.
I've heard something about that.
Perpendicular to or parallel to shore.
You're not doing that for 600 meters.
No, no, but enough until you
feet.
get out of the current and then you swim back to shore. That's what I was taught. Never had to put that into practice though.
But when you're 2 football fields away, the kind of shape we're in,
yeah,
we're not making it.
Just call the Coast Guard.
Get the Coast Guard. I'm clutching the dock. Just bring him out to me.
You just got to soak it.
This is Radio U's Worst of the Riot.
You got to text in on this one, 8772 Radio U. This is a great debate for the summertime. It's wedding season. There's going to be a lot of people. I mean, it heats up right after Memorial Day. All the weddings, every weekend, some people.
It is heating up. This summer's a big wedding summer for a lot of people.
That's right. I think weddings are up this year, right? Because of, they went down during COVID, of course. And now people finally bouncing back, getting back into the marriage game.
Yeah.
And so here's something you might see out and about after someone gets married. You know, they have the car with the sign. Typically, it'll say just married. Sometimes it has the cans dangling off the back. I don't see that so often. But some people are also adding their Venmo to the mix.
Just in case you want to send them money.
Send a wedding gift to a wedding you weren't invited to the new happy couple. What do you think about this? It's a big debate online. Some are saying tacky. Others are saying, what's the big deal? Where do you stand?
I like the comment that said, don't hate the player, hate the game.
Oh, yeah.
And at the same time, for me, I think it's not so bad.
You don't think so?
I don't think so because you can just ignore it.
It is easy to ignore.
It's not like it's not like you're going through line and they're putting the little self-checkout thing in your face and they're trying to ask you for a tip, you know?
Yeah.
They're not staring at you.
Uh-huh.
You're just driving by. If you see it, you see it. If you would like to donate to their cause, you're more than welcome. You don't have to either.
Yeah, you can
it's
just
very passive.
Drive on by. What skin is it off of your back?
I agree.
If they put this on there. But that said, though, do you feel like it? Like, let's say you just got married.
Mm-hmm.
Would you feel a little tacky doing it? Wouldn't you feel a little wrong? Just
I wouldn't do it.
Feel kind of lame.
I wouldn't put it on mine personally, but for somebody else, if they want to, I wouldn't knock them for it either.
I like this comment. I see this all over my city anyways. Sometimes it's just the Venmo handle alone.
Yeah, exactly.
That was my thought of just like, you're going to get mad for somebody. They have whether people will give or not, I'm going to assume that the majority of people aren't just going to whip out their phones and send a Venmo to the stranger that just happened to get married. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't do it because people post their Venmos all the time.
It's just
for much stupider reasons.
It's just in people's bios. Like, it's in their bios on, like, Instagram. They're like, if you want to send me money for free for no reason, oh, just send it there.
Yeah, oh, you happen to stumble across my TikTok?
Oh,
why don't you Venmo me?
If you're on a TikTok, I'll tell you this much. If you're on TikTok and you're scrolling through the lives and you ever see somebody on there, I mean, they're tossing out the Cash App or Venmo constantly.
Yeah.
They're like, because they act like people are sending it in the comments. They're like, oh, did someone else? Oh, it's like Heather asked me what my Venmo is. This is my Venmo for anybody who wants to just send me money randomly. Like, if you get on TikTok Live, that's on there. Any live stream, it's on there. If you go to just about any woman's bio on Instagram for whatever reason, it's on there. Because people must be just sending money. So maybe I should put it on mine.
I mean,
people are just sending money. Why don't they just send money to me?
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Yeah.
So nobody can Venmo you if you don't have your Venmo out there, out and about. And so I'd say, especially when you're married, go for it.
Yeah, exactly. And these people,
when you just got married, or if you've been married for years.
Yeah, whether they're getting hate online or what. Let's say they had like 5 people Venmo them like $100. $500. That's worth the hate, right? Totally worth it.
I think it's worth it for $5.
For $5, any kind of money. Yeah. If somebody sent him a Venmo alone.
I think I'm gonna make a license plate frame that has my Venmo. On it. Yeah.
If you'd like to Venmo me, you can. You're more than welcome.
More than welcome.
I need to put it in my bio. That's my next move. Putting my Venmo in my bio.
Yeah.
What's the worst that could happen? If somebody's like, why would you do that? I'd be like, because I like money. I like free money even better.
Max is on board too. He says, most folks need a few bucks for a good start when they get married. True.
Facts.
Venmo. Do it.
Oh, hi there.
This worst of the riot.
Crank that up.
Radio U.
I've got a guy here. He's got an unhealthy obsession with the movie Titanic. You ever seen it?
No.
You never saw the Titanic?
Haven't seen it.
That is a classic. It is a classic. I can't say that I'm the biggest fan of the movie either.
Would you watch it tonight if I put it on? No, you wouldn't.
I probably would not want to sit. I wouldn't want to sit through all of that.
Exactly.
I feel like it's long. I don't even know. Titanic came out in 1997. Broke a bunch of records. Was wildly popular. And with one guy on TikTok who goes by JD, and his TikTok handle is actually Titanic Fan 97.
Big fan.
He is. I mean, it's his life. This movie. This is what he's gone viral for. He's amassing a collection of Titanic VHS tapes. VHS, that's video cassettes. That's what people used to watch movies before streaming, before Blu-ray, before DVD was VHS.
I think everybody knows what a VHS
you think so?
is. Yes.
I don't think so.
Yes,
I saw a TikTok the other day. It was like a middle school teacher asking a bunch of kids trivia questions about the 90s. Not a single one of them knew a single thing.
The middle schoolers, they may not know.
There could be middle schoolers listening right now for all we know.
Middle schoolers are asleep. It's the summer, dude.
Yeah.
What do you think they're doing up at this hour?
They're listening to us talk about the Titanic and VHS tapes.
Yeah, exactly.
This guy, his goal is to collect 1,997 Titanic VHS tapes because the movie came out in 1997. So he wants to collect 1,997 VHS tapes of the Titanic. Currently, he is at over 1,500. He's got 1,560 VHS tapes of the Titanic. Look at this. Look at his room, this closet with all these tapes. This is crazy. He could build like a fort out of He could build a Titanic out of his Titanic VHS tapes.
Yeah, you ready for this?
Yeah.
It costs about, I just looked it up, for a Titanic VHS tape.
To get one now?
Yeah, it's around like $6 to $10. You spent a lot of money on this. And the next thing is...
At least $6,000, I think, is a conservative estimate.
Let me do our next thing. Ready?
Uh-huh.
What do you think the odds are? What's his name? JD.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think the odds are JD has a girlfriend? Putting that high?
Doesn't seem like it. It is one of the...
Because if I walk into that house, and you see that bedroom, with all of them Titanic movies, those VHS tapes, I mean,
Yeah.
it looks cool. It looks real cool, but that's raising some serious red flags, right? Has to.
That's that'd be a hard sell, I imagine, for many women.
I would say so. I mean, not
The
that
first
it's like,
time bringing
it's
them
not-
over.
It's not even a weird, like, I mean, yes, it's kind of weird, the whole, like, obsession over the Titanic.
Uh-huh.
Like, it's not like it's a super weird thing.
No, it's a very popular movie.
It's a very popular movie. It's a cool thing to have but that many VHS tapes, 1,500.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like, I mean, obviously a big part of his life. But I think you walk into that bedroom and you see that wall of Titanic.
I don't even know if
VHS
this is his
tapes.
bedroom or if this is his living room.
It could be, yeah, it could be his entrance to his house for all I know.
Yeah.
It looks like it's around the kind of the fireplace, possibly. I'm seeing maybe a fireplace
that's
to
what
the
I was
left.
thinking. That's what I
This
was
is in his
seeing.
living room. You walk into his house and his whole living room, Titanic VHS tapes. I mean, that's something you're going to talk about with the girls in the group chat. And I'm going to go on a
All right.
ledge here and say it's going to be a negative conversation.
That's right. It's one thing if you come over and you're like, oh, it's a Titanic. But then
I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge fan. Like, that's
Yeah.
one thing.
But you start talking to you're a gal and you relay that to your friends. Yeah, met this guy. He went over to his house. He got a collection of almost 2,000 Titanic VHS tapes.
Like, your friends aren't going to be like, yep, that's the winner. Right?
Yeah.
There's no way. There's no chance they're going to be like, oh, for sure. Maybe you should date him. You should go on a
says-
second date with him.
All right, here's the good news. The value of his collection, according to him, almost $55,000.
Because he owns all of them. He owns every VHS tape of the Titanic.
Yeah.
He can decide the market.
But scroll down in the story or fast forward in the TikTok and look what accompanies the VHS tapes.
No.
He's
no.
got mannequins with little
It's over. It's over.
that's Leo. That's baby Leo, right? Leonardo DiCaprio's face on little mannequins.
That he like printed off a printer.
Yeah.
This is weird now.
That's it. Just
This is all of a
it's
sudden
gone to another level.
Before I just saw the VHS tapes on the wall, the human life-size mannequins of Leo with like the face taped on over the mannequin.
It's over. It's over.
I mean,
for
that
him.
is, you can't even bring a woman in that house.
No.
Goodness, she's gonna think you're a psycho.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask if the VHS tapes were an egg. Like, I was gonna ask that. You cannot bring a woman in this house. I would be afraid. I would be afraid if I walked into the house at this point. That is, it was okay for a little bit, and then I saw that
8772.
a life-size mannequin. What?
Radio U.
I mean, that's so creepy.
Hey, you know what a lady would be if you brought her over to this place? Good as gone.
Yeah, exactly.
Radio U's Worst of the Riot podcast.
We're here to talk about how this is a great time to be a teen. I know it might not feel like it if you're a teenager, but this is a great time for you because this is a great time to find a job as a teenager. Companies are hiring this summer. And it is estimated that 1 out of 5 new hires made this summer will be teenagers.
That's pretty good.
That's good, right? Apparently,
Looking for a summer job.
see if you buy this. This is what the experts say, that teenagers are being lured into work. I don't know. That's a weird way
That
to put it.
sounds like kind of
Teenagers
kind of suspicious.
are being drawn to work by sharply higher pay and a desire to get out of the house after long stretches of remote classes and other pandemic-related constraints for the past few years. I know things are different in different parts of the country. How long has it been since anybody had a routine remote class?
A long time.
Yeah,
Right?
like at least a year. When the school
Yeah.
year started this year, nobody was doing full remote.
No, but there are a lot of like high schoolers and middle schoolers who do like online school.
Yeah.
And so maybe more of them do that now after the whole pandemic
I think
thing. I don't know.
homeschooling picked up.
Oh, did it?
I think so.
Makes sense.
People just started homeschooling instead of doing the remote stuff, and then they're like, "Well, just stick with it." But that's can't make up for too much. I think.
Yeah, I agree.
At the end of the day, let's call it what it is. Teenagers want to get paid more money, as we all do, and for teenagers, the price is going up. It's not that long ago. You were a teenager. You have to work for like $6 an hour.
That was like me, like 7 years ago.
Yeah.
Minimum wage was like $7.10, which was okay because for me at that time it felt like enough money.
Now now it's like $15.
No, it's not. Is it $15?
I mean, you drive around, you see the signs, right? You go to a gas station, it's like you go to Sheetz or McDonald's, it's like, work here, we'll pay you $15 an hour.
$15 an hour? That's nuts. Isn't that crazy? Is that not crazy? Is that crazy to anyone else? It's
you
crazy
know what's
to me.
nuts is that $15 an hour isn't even that much. It's not considered that much.
Which is insane. It's insane. It's insane. I can't even begin to comprehend. $15 an hour. They said between the ages of 15 and 19 years old are getting paid $15 an hour. That's a dollar for every year that you've been alive.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I think about, and again, it's not that long ago that I was working as a teenager.
No.
And I had a job that wasn't bad. Like, it paid more than minimum wage. It sucked. It was working at a greenhouse. But I made more than minimum wage at that time, and I wasn't close to $15 an hour.
No chance.
And I'm thinking about myself being 15, having $15 an hour. If I was working, like, as many hours you can work as a teenager, you think about the things I would buy.
$15, that's almost too much money.
The energy drinks I would have drank, would have drank even more. The Lego sets.
Like, you're 15 years
old. The
old.
video games that I would have had.
You don't even need that kind of money. What are you doing running around with all that?
I would have had a better TV than my parents.
Yeah, $15 an hour working at McDonald's. That's insane. And the audacity to ask me for tips. The audacity. You're getting paid $15 an hour. I have a tip screen in front of me nonstop for freaking Burger King. That's crazy. Get out of here. Enough.
I don't know how you're getting mad about this.
It's wild. It's insane.
It's good.
I'm
glad. I'm proud of them. I'm happy for you. If you're a teenager, get out there, do some good work. You're getting compensated handsomely for it.
I mean, you're getting paid over the top yet again. I mean, could you be doing a better job than I was 10 years ago when I worked at Wendy's and I was getting paid $7? Probably not. But I'm glad that you're getting $20 an hour to flip burgers.
Yeah. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Have fun with it.
Nobody does it better. The Riot Radio U.
Everybody is looking to save money on dates, right? They're expensive. That's why we're seeing things like picnic dates and biking through the park dates take off. I have a guy here on TikTok who's gone viral. His channel is called Cost of Living Crisis Tips. And he has gone viral for presenting some ideas for $1 date night meals.
$1?
Before you look at the recipes, are you open to the idea? Be clear, I don't even think this guy would say, this is not a first date. This isn't something you do on the first date. Cook for your person that you're dating for $1. You got to go a little further than that.
Yeah, a little bit.
But once you're a few dates in, if you want to, hey, come on over, I'll cook for you. They don't have to know it's $1. But you can cook for $2 for $1, according to this. And so are you open to that so far?
No.
Not even under those circumstances?
No.
You'd have to be married, is what you're saying?
Yes.
You have to be married to have $1 meal.
Or we had to be in a long-term relationship, I'm thinking.
Like real long-term.
I wouldn't even eat $1 meal myself, I don't think. I imagine it's pretty gross, if I had to guess.
I don't think $1 meal has to be gross.
I think it would be gross.
But listen to this guy's meals.
Let's hear it.
Here's the first one. For under $1, he instructs you to go ahead and get spaghetti, baked beans, salt, and any seasoning available. And mix all that together. Obviously, cook up the spaghetti, mix it all up, heat it all up. Boom. Less than $1 meal for you and your date.
Not for me.
That's not for you. That sounds nasty.
It sounds disgusting.
This is the UK. They love beans there, right? They're big on beans.
I guess so.
What about this? Basically, actually, you know what? I'm looking through. He's got multiple meals, but they really come down to he's mixing spaghetti with like tomatoes and beans, pretty much.
So he's making spaghetti.
Yeah, pretty much for under $1. This one has peas. Peas and pasta. Yeah, they're not that out of the ordinary. It's just the actual ingredients he's putting in.
Yeah, it's just
Clearly,
not for me.
If you make pasta and then put whatever you want on it, you can make it for under $1.
Make it cheap,
I think it's the actual recipes rather than the idea.
Yeah.
Because if you make spaghetti and you just buy a can of tomato sauce and like
Fine,
season it
that's
up with some
totally
oregano
fine.
or whatever,
That's fine, yeah.
I think you could get away with that.
For
That
sure.
seems sweet.
That's a
seems
cute
nice.
dinner. Spaghetti,
Yeah.
meat. If you do like a meat sauce, that might that's gonna run you a little more money, but
That's right.
it's worth it though. I'm for sure putting in meat sauce. I'm doing like a meat red sauce. I'm not gonna just do the red sauce. But for me, yet again, I mean, it looks terrible. What he's making looks terrible.
It doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't please the eye at all.
I'm just trying to figure out here if he is in a relationship or not. Because if I had to guess,
He's 36 years old.
mm-hmm.
Looking at his pictures, he's put together, I'd say. I don't know if I'd call him attractive, but I don't think I'd call him unattractive.
He's not ugly.
No. I also don't know how much do you need? Do you really need? Are you living on such hard times that you need to do this $1 date night meal? I don't know. Things have got to be different in the UK.
Okay, so it says that he does have some women in his life.
Multiple.
William swears that he and Rebecca enjoy the meals he shares.
Oh, okay.
So he's got at least Rebecca. I need to see.
Oh, he's married.
He's married?
Well, that's not the
Well, that's a
same. Of
different
course you can
thing.
cook for $1 if you're married.
What is this? What kind of story is this? Is this a date? $1 date?
He says they're date night ideas.
I guess we're thinking first
He's
dates.
got different date ideas than us.
Is that even a date? If you're cooking at home with your wife, is that a date?
If you don't have kids, every night is a date then.
If you're making spaghetti with baked beans at home,
it's a date.
Is that a date?
It's a date.
Is that a date?
Is that you tell your friends? Well, me and William had a date last night.
Is that a date to you, William?
We sat at home.
We made dinner.
He cooked me spaghetti and baked beans.
And what'd you do? Watch a movie? That's like a Tuesday. That's a Tuesday.
It was a date.
It's not a date.
It was a date
William.
night.
What is this? Who covered this story, William?
This is a real news agency.
This is ridiculous.
This is a New York Post.
Who is doing this? This is awful.
It's an idea.
It's not even an idea.
It
For
is
what?
an idea.
For a Tuesday night with your wife? I guess for our listeners that are married, you can do this.
If you can't cook spaghetti and baked beans and salt for the person you're going out with and then be happy with it, then you shouldn't be with them.
There you go. I mean, I agree.
If they can't handle you at your worst, cooking spaghetti and baked beans, they can't handle you at your best.
I think once you're married, yes, you can make spaghetti at home, William. Thank you for that.
The stories you love with the opinions you hate. The Riot Radio U.
You ever wonder about the PETA president? About their life? What is that
Do
like?
I ever just think when I'm laying down in bed at night, I wonder what the PETA president is doing?
I just, sometimes PETA, again, I think I say this nearly every time we bring them up. I don't necessarily, I think in many cases an argument could be made for why, that could convince me not to eat animals. I just think that PETA is never making it. They have never even thought once, gotten anywhere close to convincing me with their
But
arguments.
they've convinced some people.
But so it just makes me wonder. It makes me think, what are they thinking? The president of PETA, I don't know if you know, her name is Ingrid Newkirk. And here's what she recently said, that when she dies, she would like her flesh to be cooked in a human barbecue and seasoned with onions.
Seems a bit odd. Odd request.
Yeah, but she's doing it to prove a point.
And her point is?
The point is that flesh is flesh. If you'd barbecue a pig, why wouldn't you barbecue a human? And if you'd eat a pig, why wouldn't you eat a human? Or if you wouldn't eat a human, why would you eat a pig, a cow, a dog?
Now, sorry, I don't mean to laugh at people. I'm trying not to. I'm trying to be good here. I am not against being a vegetarian.
Yeah?
Whatever you want to do. If that's what you want to do, that's fine. I personally am not. I do eat meat. You know what, PETA, I think you do awesome stuff. There's a lot of great stuff you do. This argument here, though, I'm just completely analyzing the argument.
Well, hold on. You want to hear more of the quote?
Give me more. I want more context.
She says, you can barbecue my flesh, and you'll smell it cooking with those onions, and you'll think, oh, I want some of that. But it will make you think. That's what she said.
And what's this woman's
Direct
name?
quote.
Where's she at?
Ingrid Newkirk,
Ingrid Newkirk.
the president of PETA, the People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals.
It helps me when I put faces to names.
Uh-huh.
I need to see a photo just so I can get the full feel here. All right, Ingrid, I see your face now. This is wild. I mean, this is just complete wild talk. Yet again, not against being a vegetarian.
It's a crazy
not
thing
against
to say.
PETA and all that jazz, everything, treating animals right. I'm with it. I have a dog. I like Jim. I'd like to treat him nicely. I like animals. Do I like to eat them? I do. If you don't want to, you don't have to. But this argument here, not PETA's best work, Ingrid. I think we could do better. I do. If you were going to try to convince me, yet again, this would not be the way.
Well,
I think there might be a route where, actually, there's no route where you could convince me, but there would be a route where you could convince some people. There
could be a route where you convince me.
Yeah, like this route here, I mean, they've obviously convinced people in the past don't eat meat. But this one here, this is not a convincing argument. I mean, not even a little.
Well, where's the flaw?
In the argument?
Because do you think she's right if you just smelled meat cooking on the grill and onions and whatever, all the seasonings involved, you might smell it and think, oh, that smells good. And then imagine how bad you would feel when you found out it was a person.
Well, I don't think the whole, like, eating of another person,
Uh-huh.
I just don't think that's
It's
a
not
thing.
the same as eating an animal.
It's a completely different thing. Eating your own
And
species.
now you speak from experience because I'm sure you did 4-H stuff,
did
right?
do it,
You had
yes.
pigs.
Uh-huh.
And what happened to those pigs?
They died.
You knew them.
I did.
You knew them, and then
Dwight, Neon, there's a whole Rocky, there's a whole bunch of them.
And then I'm sure that they were eaten probably.
They for sure were.
By
100%.
you?
Not by me.
Not by you.
I sold them to be eaten by someone else.
They were
Provider.
that good,
I was
eh?
a provider.
Yeah. That's
Dwight came in 4th place in his class. I'm just saying.
Wow.
Shoulders on that guy. They were nice. They were nice. But yeah, this is an argument that I would back. Unfortunately, Ingrid.
Yeah.
This is not your best work.
I think the truth is that, again, I could probably be convinced temporarily to abstain from meat until I had to eat something that wasn't meat. And then I'd be like, well, this sucks. So I don't care. But the arguments to not eat meat would be very upsetting. This is just dumb.
Yeah, this is a bad
stupid.
one.
It's not upsetting to me. It's just dumb.
This is a bad argument. I'm not gonna lie, it's a bad argument, and I wanted it to be good. I did. I wanted it to be a good argument, and it just wasn't. If it was a good argument, I would say it's a good argument. I would back her. I'd be like, you know what, that was good. It didn't convince me, but that's a good argument. It could probably convince somebody else. This didn't convince anybody, I don't think.
I don't think so.
Wasn't that a great Riot clip? While you're here, you should watch more of our videos and subscribe so you don't miss what we do next.